Hi guys, this is my first YouTube tutorial for Bubble, and first altogether, I'm a sophomore studying at Indiana University in informatics with a minor in marketing information systems and computer science. I run a marketing consulting agency where I help startups and ventures along with small businesses. And Bubble is something I recently picked up, working on two startups of my own. I have proficiencies in WordPress. That's where I kind of grew my roots, and so I've switched over to Bubble pretty recently. But I learned this neat trick, and I thought I'd share it. And basically, what it does is it's redirecting users on protected content to force them to log in first, and then once they do log in, they're presented right back to the page where they started. So I'll give you guys a little bit of an example here. So I've had this test application opened up here over here, and this is going to be our protected page. So you can imagine this to be a messages page, a orders page, chat page, account page. It's limitless here. This is the protected page that you want to restrict the user from without login. So let's open it up over here. And so don't mind these workflows that I have running. We're just going to hit preview. And so you'll see what it does is when I'm logged out and I open this page, it's going to bring me over to my login page. Now, I already have the login information pre-filled, but now being the user, let's say you were going to that protected page, you get redirected to the login page. Now you'd enter in your credentials, which again, pre-filled, and then the user would hit login. Now, usually when you hit login, you're going to be, generically sent to a certain page within the web app. But what we're doing here is we're actually telling the login page where to send the user back to. So now when we hit login, you'll see us go right back over to that protected page. And you can see now that we're logged in. So it's pretty easy to set up. It's completely free, requires no plugins. So I'm going to go ahead and show you guys how it's done. So we're going to, first thing we're going to do is, let me go ahead and delete this workflow over here. Okay, so first thing we're going to do is you're going to go ahead and choose out the page that you want to protect. Now this could be multiple pages, but obviously start somewhere. So this is your account page or your orders page, payments page, whatever. And you're going to go to your protected page. You get the front end of it does not matter at all. Everything we're going to be focused on is over here in workflow. So you want to go to workflow. First thing we're going to do, and actually before I start, let me just delete the workflows over here. Okay, cool. So first thing we're going to do is pretty simple. We're going to make it so that when a user is not logged in, and I'm going to make this red, all the ones for this tutorial, just so you guys get an easy understanding. So when the user is logged out and they enter this protected page, we immediately, obviously being that it's a protected page, we do not want them here. So what we want to do is we want to send them to the login page. So my login page is called YouTube login over here, YT login. So I'm going to do that. So all this is saying is when the user is logged out, we want that user to be redirected to the login page. Now, we're done with that, but what we want to actually click over here is this third checkbox that says send more parameters to the page. What we're going to do here is hit add another parameter, and we're going to enter a key here, a key value to attach to the URL. So it's good practice, I found, to just do after. And I apologize, my microphone just cut out there. So yeah, it's good practice to just do after login instead of, you can do really anything. You can do redirect, go to, post login. You could do ABC. It's endless, but it's good practice to do this just so it doesn't collide with any other future uses of parameters, especially if you're using social sign-ins and things like that sort where you're exchanging tokens. So standard practice, it's easy, just do after login, keep it simple. Now over here, this is going to be the value to this key. And so for this, we're going to do a search, and all we have to do is do this URL, just like that. That's it. So just like that, when the user is logged out, we want to be sending them to our login page. Now, your login page will differ, right? Whatever it is. And then you want to add a parameter to the page, and you're going to add something called after login. You can, again, name it whatever you want. I recommend after login. And as the value for that key, all you're literally going to do is just send this URL, which is a dynamic. Right here, you can just go to other data sources, type it in, this URL, simple, just like that. Cool. So now that that's done, if we actually go back, I'm going to log out of this protected page so I can give you guys an idea. Okay, so it's logged out, and you can see now when I click it, or sorry, when I load that protected page, so I'll load it up again here. I'm logged out, so you can see it's redirecting me. But if I click login, it doesn't do anything. It does not take me back. That's because on the login page, we need to now add logic. So to do that, we just hit log out again. Okay, cool. So to do that, we're going to go to our login page, which for me is YouTube login. And so this is my design. Again, it's just a test app, so it's a very basic design. This is my login button. So you obviously want to make sure you have your login button because this is where we're actually going to add our logic. So I'm going to go over here to my login button, which is where on your login page, a user would usually enter their username and password and then hit login. And then we're going to edit the workflow. So obviously the step within that should be to log the user in. That's kind of a standard practice and it's a must-have. So you'll have that. Now what we're going to do is we're going to actually click here and we're going to add another action. So preferably you'd want this as the last step. And I believe it actually forces you to make it the last step within Bubble. But what we're going to search for is, what is it called? Open external website. Open an external website. This is the action we want to choose. And if you want to find it over here, it's in navigation. That's where it is. So open this up. And first and foremost, what we're going to do is we're going to tell it when to run this. So we only want to run this when an after login page is provided because I apologize, my mic has been cutting out. Your login page, your post login page is not always going to be provided because it is a login page at the end of the day. So it's going to be used for generic use too, right? There isn't always somewhere to redirect after. So that's why we want to tell it that only when an after login key is provided in the URL, we want to run this. And so to do that, we're going to do only when, and we're going to do get data from page URL. And this is where we're going to type in that key value that we set. So if you remember, I set it to after login. So we're going to type that in over here, close. And when it's not empty. So what basically this is saying is whenever in that URL sent to the login, when you get to that login page in the URL, if it has the word after login within the URL, then run this workflow. If it doesn't, then do not. And this is how we're going to tell Bubble that if there is a login page, post login page implemented or not, whether we want to redirect somewhere or not. And if you want to learn more about how we're kind of going about this through page parameters, can definitely make a video on it, but honestly it might be more useful for you to just read up on Bubble. I know they have great content on that. There's probably tons of YouTube videos on this too. But yeah, so we're gonna go over here to destination now, and this is where we actually set it up to tell it what page to go to. And so same thing, we're gonna do get data from page URL right here, and then parameter is going to be that key, which is after login. Oh, spelled that wrong. After login, there we go. Close. Perfect, just like that. And so now, if we go back to this page over here, the protected page, you could see we get redirected to our login page. And I'm going to take out the Bubble debugging. This is just because I'm on the test mode right now. I'm just going to get rid of that so it's a little clearer for you guys to read. So you can see this is our page URL right here. And you can see right after that, it's adding a question mark and putting that key that we added after login. And after that, it's actually telling Bubble what the after login page is. You can see in the URL here, it's a protected page. And you can see a bunch of symbols and encoding done because it's a URL. It can't process certain symbols, so this is how it encodes it. But Bubble will handle all of that for you, so you don't have to worry about that. And so now if the user clicks login, you could see once they're logged in, they're going to get sent right back to that protected page. So pretty straightforward. So I'll show you guys again. So I'm going to log out here, and the protected page is not going to let me view it because I'm not logged in. So it's going to send me to the login page. I'm going to type in my credentials here, again, pre-filled. I'm the user. I'm going to hit login over here, and boom, I'm on the protected page. So if you notice, that login page is generic. It acts as a login page still, but I can use it to redirect, which is pretty neat. So I hope you found this tutorial useful. Obviously, so many use cases for it. Drop a comment, drop a like. It's my first of hopefully many tutorials. If there's any questions or anything of that sort, I would love to help out. Just drop it below, and I 100% answer that. And if you have other ideas, if you come across this video and want to leave me leave me any other tips or suggestions on videos to make, I'm more than excited to do that because definitely would love to provide some insight. So yeah, hopefully it helped you guys out, and I use this in all my apps, and it can be of use to you guys too. All right, I'll see you guys in the next tutorial.